What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Old review breakdown and ending explained. Old is the latest M. Night Shyamalan movie, the dude who brought you The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, but to be honest has been rather divisive since then, starting with The Village and more recently Glass, which many people did not like, but I really enjoyed it. I think people were expecting some sort of Avengers level movie, but I'm not sure why they thought that. Old is inspired by the Swiss graphic novel Sandcastle, and the graphic novel focused around a beach where people grow old, and it's essentially the same here, except added for the movie was the resort, and mid-sized sedan is actually different, as in the graphic novel he was an Algerian jeweler, and the signature M. Night twist was added to the movie. The movie focuses around a family arriving at a resort for precious family time. The Kappa family, and more specifically the adults, have issues not only with a looming separation, but also the mother Priska has a tumour which seems to be benign, and I liked how they were having one last great holiday and time before their life changes forever, but they became trapped on a beach that they cannot escape from, and they were forced to fall back in love. Now, I'm not one for content warnings, but I imagine that the birth scene would be incredibly distressing to many people, and a few people did even walk out after that part at the screening I was at. I went into the movie with decent expectations, as you know what you get with this director, and the twist is admittedly always the best part of these movies. But to be honest, and I do not like saying this, I really dislike this movie. The concept and idea was great, and the twist was curious and pretty clever, but the acting in the movie was beyond atrocious, and is on the same level of The Room. It was just confusing, as a lot of these actors and actresses are pretty good in other things. It was generally okay until the plot started to get going, when we discovered mid-sized sedan's date's body, which that in itself was bad enough with that cringy name, and instantly the doctors started being racist towards him, and the acting and movie spirals out of control into pure hilarity. As the kids grow and things go from bad to worse, we have the constantly just slightly out of shot kids, which is hiding the obvious age up, which I was confused as to why are they hiding the obvious age up, because, well, the whole trailer spoiled the damn thing. The shot would also constantly spin round or pan to some sand or some rocks and back to the people who are there. And it's obviously to show disorientation and confusion with not only the problem they're in, and also probably the level of discomfort, but it ends up looking like GCSE level filmmaking. In the hands of another director, I think this could have been much better, and maybe a different cast as well. And it did also make the problems and the disabilities that these people have and would develop later in life, specifically the calcium deficiency, that one of the women who is very self-righteous and self-loving, she then turns into a disfigured creature, and it is not progressive at all. The movie opens with a family heading to a resort there, and, well, the family are clearly fractured as the daughter sings as the mother's doing work on her phone, but they arrive at paradise. The mother learned of the place via a competition at a pharmacy, and would later learn that it is all a setup by a pharmaceutical company who discovered the island years prior. An expedition team found the island, and it's presumed they died on the island, as there is a memoriam plaque at the end of the movie. But they learned about the aging properties, leading the company to test many different experimental drugs. And while it would take years and almost a lifetime to test them, they can cure epilepsy pretty much in a day. There's been over 70 groups, and the medicine was given as the family arrive in their drinks. Now, Trent instantly makes friends with the hotel manager's nephew, who is actually the one running things here at the pharmaceutical black site. They would share secret messages, and I found it so ridiculous that Trent would wait right up until the final moment on the beach to decide and to actually decode the secret message, basically hinting that he needs to go through the coral on the beach. And it's very, very weird how they thought that, well, hold on a minute, this is a huge setup, so maybe I should look at that. Also in the room, we learn how Guy's company loves working with the drugs company, probably because, well, they've actually fixed people, perhaps. The kids walk around the beach asking what people did, as Trent remembers everything. Luckily, he talks to a cop who he will tell all later. The parents fight, but then get invited to a secret beach by the hotel manager, and eager for the family to have one last memory, the parents agree to go. However, on the bus, another family join them who are clearly dysfunctional, and we saw them at breakfast as the wife is superficial, and it's hinted that her sickness is a calcium deficiency, and tells her daughter she shouldn't hunch as no one will find her attractive, foreshadowing the mother's end. The drive is yet another cameo from M. Night Shyamalan as they get to the beach, and mid-sized sedan he's just sitting there with a nosebleed as the woman he was there with actually drowned due to being blacked out by accident. As well, we would learn that happens when you try to leave via the cave or the sea. There's no fish or any life seemingly on the beach as the kids start to grow. However, Trent and the other family's daughter only grow incredibly fast as they are eating. I did find it weird that, well, the food was there, but clearly the food, or at least a lot of the food, was left there because they need a lot of food to grow. A weird electromagnetic and mineral thing is around the beach, which is connected to the rocks. Slowly, the doctor's schizophrenia exacerbates, and he ends up killing mid-sized sedan, who had a blood clotting problem, and the girl he was with was also sick, hinting at the coincidence that, well, each one of the group has a sickness, including the childless couple with a wife having epilepsy. Now, also, if you're wondering as well, what movie was a doctor talking about that Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson were actually in, and that was a 1976 movie, a western called The Missouri Breaks. Now, they don't look any older as they aren't eating as much like the kids were, as the two youngest there were kind of eating as much as they can as the mother's tumour is removed, and the two kids grow up and bone, which was really, really creepy. And I found the childlike acting in adult bodies borderline hysterical as she becomes pregnant, but the child sadly dies as kids need to eat a lot of breast milk or formula, which leads it to die in a gruesome manner. Now, Jaren would attempt to escape but die after passing out at sea, as the other couple would succumb to the ravages of age, which reminded me of The Simpsons. And, well, they are attacked by the doctor, and, well, he's stabbed with rust, which poisons his blood. Due to the rapid aging, it does kill him because it does kind of speed everything up. With the parents now dead, Trent and Maddox contemplate escape and discover that Coral is the key, but I always thought that Coral was technically alive, so I'm not sure how that works there, but it could be blocking the minerals and the whole kind of electromagnetic stuff as they get out, and we see the bus driver who delivers the data of the subject, and the letter drops that this is just science and medical companies being unethical. However, we see Trent reveal all to the cop and hand over the notebook with all the names and addresses of the test subjects, and the house of cards comes crumbling down. Overall, I really, really like the idea and the twist, even while not the best, but then again, the Villages was subdued, but I liked it. However, the execution was a total and utter letdown, for me at least. And remember, this is just an opinion. This is just one person on the internet's opinion before you come in the comments leaving hate. So let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear it. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.